Hey guys, welcome to the State Champs High School Sports Show. I'm Elizabeth Coon here with Chloe Hug.
It's great to be here. This show is presented to you by Lawrence Technological University.
We had a packed week and we have all the highlights right here.
Andrea Cabana and her Chelsea Bulldogs put their perfect record on the line on the road at Saline. I'm Greg Molson, and this would be a game of runs after the Bulldogs jumped out to a 6-0 lead. Jonathan Sanderson sparks a 7-0 run for the Hornets to give them the lead. Back come the Dogs. No one stops them, so Andrew Blanton takes it all the way himself. Chelsea led it by 6 after the first. More from Blanton in the second, driving for 2 more and 1. But Sanderson brings the Hornets right back, flying to the hoop for 2 of his 18 points in the first half, and it was all even at 28-all at the break.
This is a game of momentum, okay? It's a game of runs, right? We went on a run, they went on a run, we went on a run, they went on a run. It's just that simple. That's the way good games go. We knew coming in this was going to be a good game, yes? This is what we want, right?
Cabana's players trying to make sure it wouldn't be a good game in the second half. Carter Alexander opens the third with the triple from the corner. Then it's Jacob Stevens pulling up for 3 more. Chelsea led it by 8 going into the fourth. The lead was up to 12 with 6 minutes to go, but that's when Sanderson takes over, looking like Michael Jordan on the reverse. Sanderson then shows off his crossover move to get free for 3, cutting the lead to just 3. He then hits another 3 from the top of the key to give the Hornets the lead. The freshman scored 17 in the fourth quarter, 39 in the game, including 4 free throws in the final minute to put Saline on top to stay. Chelsea with a final shot at the buzzer, but it's no good. Saline pulls off the upset, 62-60. The Hornets improve to 7-3, handing Chelsea its first loss of the season.
We wanted to win this game really badly. We wanted it more than them. I think we did, and man, our team's special. I think we can go far. We brought in that last 5 minutes, and that last 5 minutes did it for us. We ran it, and we won. That's what happened.
Oh, this is huge. I told the team in the locker room, good teams compete, great teams win, but championship teams go on runs. And that's a 4-game win streak for us now, and we're going to continue this, I hope, and keep it rolling and go on a run.
I'm Chris Gorski on the west side at East Kentwood High School, where the Falcons hosted the undefeated Grand Haven Buccaneers in an OK Red matchup. First quarter, Daryl Tompkins Jr. finds Marshawn Flakes up court for the layup, giving the Falcons a 2-point lead. Grand Haven with an answer on defense. Harrison Sorrell gets the steal. He goes the other way and finishes with the dunk to put Grand Haven up by 5. Second quarter, Kyler Cotton finds Sorrell up top. The senior fills it up from beyond the arc. He led all scorers with 24. Later in the quarter, lead up to 12, Eli Wachter finds Joey Basil up top for another 3, and Grand Haven pushes the lead to 15. But East Kentwood came back from a 19-point deficit against Rockford last week, and they start chipping away here. Ja Hatchett knocks down a 3, the lead down to just 4, and late in the third quarter, we're all tied up. Hatchett knocks down another 3. He had 18 points in the third quarter, and East Kentwood takes the lead. Fourth quarter, Grand Haven down 2. Will Kornstra on the drive. He gets the hoop to tie it up. Great team play here by the Falcons. Christian Humphrey Rembert with the block. Tompkins corrals it, fires a deep pass up court to Flakes, who gets the layup. The senior led East Kentwood with 21 points as the Falcons win this one 65-56.
The East Grand Rapids Pioneers traveled to take on the Lowell Red Arrows Tuesday night. Lowell looking to keep their perfect record alive. At the start of this one, it was pretty promising. The first half, the Red Arrows were the aggressor, getting second chances, knocking down shots, and making big plays on defense. They led by 10 going into halftime. But right about here is where the Pioneers came out with a new type of energy, going on a 15-0 run in 5 minutes, led by senior guard Macy Brown. She finished with 32 points and 13 boards. After gaining back the lead in the third quarter, the Pioneers never looked back. EGR gets the comeback win on the road, 49-40 over the Red Arrows.
I'm Greg Molson at the Dan Fife Fieldhouse for an OAA Red matchup. The Clarkston Wolves at home taking on the Cougars of Rochester Stony Creek. And the Cougars take charge early. Sarah LaPrairie drills the triple to open the scoring. And that was just the start of a 10-0 run to open the game. Merrick Schwalbach drives through the lane to put the Cougars in double figures before the Wolves had even scored. Ellie Roback finally gets Clarkston on the board. Ava Hernandez with the assist to the freshman, and the Wolves then make a run of their own. It's Roback on the run, finding Emily Valencia inside to cut the lead to just one. But at the other end, it's LaPrairie answering with another triple, keeping Stony Creek on top, up by 5 at halftime. The Wolves get back to even for the first time since the opening tip in the final minute of the third. Roback to Valencia again, but again it's LaPrairie answering with 3 more of her 18 points, giving the Cougars a 3-point lead going into the fourth. Roback led Clarkston with 12 points. She hits for 3 from the top of the key to tie the game again. Then, with just over 3 minutes to play, it's Marley Mazer with the biggest shot of the game, the three-pointer giving the Wolves the lead for good. Clarkston seals it from the free throw line to get a come-from-behind 33-29 win over Stony Creek.
Let's check in with our friends at Lawrence Tech. We've got some fun things happening around campus lately.
On January 7th, 8 FIRST robotics team descended on Lawrence Technological University for this year's game called Charged Up. LTU and the state champs RoboZone team hosted the event that included tours of the engineering and robotics labs on campus. Students were treated to lunch, a prize raffle, and a stadium-style experience as the new FIRST Energized game was revealed live. Lawrence Tech is sponsoring each team to the tune of $2,000 each to help with expenses. To catch all of these robots in action, follow, like, or subscribe to State Champs RoboZone on YouTube, Instagram, Facebook, Twitter, and TikTok. For more information on Lawrence Technological University, visit ltu.edu.
Hello everyone, my name is Carol Lyles. Now there aren't many female coaches that coach boys basketball here in the state of Michigan, but here at Chelsea High School, I got the chance to catch up with the newest addition.
Two more! Good, reset, and back,
I've always loved basketball, and when my children were younger, and especially my girls, and they started playing, I just kind of fell into that coaching role and kind of fell in love with it, and have been doing it ever since.
You mentioned your girls. Now I have to go back. You were a Division III powerhouse Grass Lake head coach for 6 years. I mean, you were 111 and 24, D3 state champs in 2021, coach of the year twice. I mean, that had to be a tough decision to make the move here to Chelsea. What was the ultimate deciding factor?
Oh, it was extremely tough. I always consider Grass Lake home, and that is, my experience there was wonderful, and I had never had any intentions of leaving there. But ultimately, when these doors opened up and this position opened up, it was intriguing, and it wasn't immediate that I decided to do it, but after a lot of thought and consideration, I decided to put my hat in the ring for the job, and obviously I just kind of left it up to God. If it was meant to be, I'd get it, and if it wasn't, then then I would be happy to stay at Grass Lake.
With having so much success in girls basketball at Grass Lake and in AAU, I mean, did you ever have any doubts about your ability to coach boys?
Basketball is basketball. I think with any coach, when you move into a new position and a new role at a new school, you're always going to have concerns, as to how it will go in different aspects. I firmly believe if things are meant to be, they will work out, and this has kind of been, the case here, where everybody has just really accepted me, and the buy-in from the guys has been incredible. So hopefully we'll do big things.
Hey, good defense, stay in front of them, okay? Nothing crazy up top.
So when you found out Coach Cabana was going to be your coach, what was going through your head? What did you think?
I was at school that day. I didn't have service at the time, so I saw my phone, and my first reactions were good. I was happy with the hire. I've been around Joey and her since 5th grade when Joey and I played AAU together. So I wasn't looking at her as like a mom being my coach. I was looking more at her as like my coach, and I've enjoyed it. I really have.
You do, now that you moved to Chelsea, have the opportunity to coach your son Joey. What has that been like?
Before I took this role, he and I had multiple conversations if it was something that he was comfortable with, because, obviously that puts a little bit more pressure on him. Sometimes the environment of games can be, very charged from student sections, and it gives, I think other people something to chirp at him about.
Of course, especially at a high school basketball game.
Correct. But I think that at the end of the day, that's something that you have to learn to handle, and he's working on that, and other than that, it's been great. He has been very coachable. He's been very respectful. Joey and I have always had a great relationship when it comes to basketball. I think he's always trusted me in that sense. We've always done film together and things like that, so this is just kind of one more step in that process.
Have you always sort of been a coach, leaving games, like, maybe you should have done this a little differently? Yes, I'm always, I'm a perfectionist, is probably inevitable. Prior to coaching him, I tried to just more be the parent in that supportive role for him. But certainly we'd sit down and do film and look at things that he could do better as a player.
She's coached me since I was 4 years old. I'd always be in the gym with my sisters in the practices, always practicing with them.
When you go home, does the coaching stop, or does she just keep coaching you all night?
It depends. If we're watching film, she'll be my coach, but sometimes she'll still sometimes be like, what would you do if we were in the gym right now? Just stuff like that.
It's becoming way more normal for women to be seen in roles that were typically only held by men. I want to know what your experience has been in being a female coach in such a male-dominated sport.
Right. It is definitely male-dominated in a lot of aspects, but I have always felt very accepted, and very respected in this role. I've never had in a situation where I didn't. So being a female is, it's, to me, again, basketball is basketball. So if you can coach one, you can coach the other. And we have a lot of great male coaches who coach females, and it shouldn't be any different. Exactly. Females should be able to coach men just the same.
Here at State Champs, we pride ourselves on covering all sports. Let's head out to the bowling alley.
I'm Chris Gorski on the west side at Park Center Lanes for a bowling matchup between Grand Rapids Christian and Forest Hills Central. Starting with the boys, Zeke Harima, bowling anchor for the Eagles. He led the way for Grand Rapids Christian with a 2-game total of 418. On the Rangers side of things, Wes Baldwin with some nice action on his shot to get the 7-pin on his way to a 2-game total of 354. Luke Stiles had a nice day for FHC. He finished with a 2-game total of 410. Peyton Price led the way for all bowlers with back-to-back 200 games, finishing with a 436 total as the Rangers win the boys match 23-7. Next up, we check in on the girls. Reagan Price led the way for Forest Hills Central. She gets the late help here on the strike. She finished with a 2-game total of 295. Megan Zatto up for the Eagles. She goes Brooklyn for the strike on her way to a 2-game total of 299. Finally, Abby Deemer, bowling anchor for GR Christian. She set the pace for the girls with a 2-game total of 365 as Grand Rapids Christian wins the girls match. I'm Chris Gorski at Byron Center High School, where the Bulldogs hosted Forest Hills Eastern in a dual meet. Starting at 138 pounds, This one needed sudden victory, and Reed Cartes gets the 2 points to win the match. Next up at 165, Parker Crane getting the pin for Forest Hills Eastern and getting the Hawks on the board. At 175 pounds, good showing for Blake Odow. Here he gets the final 2 points to score the tech fall for Byron Center. At 215 pounds, Braden Mulcahy wrestling on top. He's able to score the pinfall for the Hawks. Next up, 285-pound division. Tim Clay is able to turn his opponent over and get the pin, scoring 6 points for the Bulldogs. And finally, at 120 pounds, Hunter Pulaski comes away with another pin for Byron Center as the Bulldogs win the duel 53-24.
We go to boys swimming for a OAA matchup. It was the Battle of the Falcons between Birmingham Groves and Rochester. And we begin with the 200-yard medley relay. A good finish here. And it would be the junior, Zach Lezowich from Birmingham Groves, touching the wall first for the victory. Rochester is ranked 8th in Division I, and we go to the exciting 50-yard freestyle. Another great finish here. It will be Lucas Hotch from Rochester getting the victory right here. He will also capture the 100 butterfly as well. Let's take a quick look at some diving. And it would be the senior Aiden Buziani from Rochester getting the top score of the night in this event. Going back to the races, and it will be another exciting finish in the 100-yard freestyle between Bobby Reef of Rochester and Asa Allen from Birmingham Groves. And will be Reef winning it by 0.5 of a second. It would just be too much Birmingham Groves on this night. In the 100-yard breaststroke, it would be the junior Angus McDonald going on in for the 4-second victory as Birmingham Groves goes on to beat Rochester in this dual meet.
We're going to take a quick time out for this week's MHSAA Minute.
The MHSAA Farm Bureau Insurance Scholar Athlete Award moves into the final round of judging as 120 finalists have been named. 32 individuals chosen from a group of 120 finalists will be selected to receive a $2,000 scholarship. This is the 34th year Farm Bureau has been honoring Michigan student athletes with nearly $1 million in scholarships handed out thus far. This year, more than 1,400 applications were submitted from 421 different high schools. Among the finalists, 74 of them participate in at least 3 sports. To be eligible, students must have at least a 3.5 GPA and have earned at least 1 varsity letter in an MHSAA-sponsored sport. The complete list of the finalists can be found at MHSAA.com, and the 32 award winners will be announced throughout February.
Entering its 26th year of excellence, applications are being accepted right now for the Detroit Athletic Club Foundation's Michigan Male and Female High School Athlete of the Year Awards. Not everyone qualifies, so listen closely. If you are a recognized first-team All-State athlete in a sport or projected to be one this school year, if you have at least a cumulative 3.0 GPA, and if you have demonstrated leadership through the school or as a community volunteer, we want you to apply. 6 male and 6 female student athletes will be nominated, with each being awarded $1,000 of college scholarship money. The winners will receive $5,000 each. The 26th Michigan High School Athlete of the Year Awards will take place at the incredible Detroit Athletic Club in downtown Detroit the evening of Monday, June 5th, and streamed live on the State Champs Sports Network. Nomination applications will be accepted through Monday, March 6th, and this is important. You cannot be nominated if you don't apply. Download the application today at dacathleteoftheyear.com. That's dacathleteoftheyear.com.
All right, we're getting towards the end of our show.
Let's wrap it up with some more highlights.
I'm Chris Gorski on the west side at Grand Rapids Christian High School, where the Eagles hosted Lowell. First quarter, Eagles up 1. Pace Rickard swings to Sophie Hulst, and the sophomore knocks down the 3, pushing the lead to 4. Later, Red Arrows within 2. Braxton Baker inbounds to Taryn Jackson. The junior knocks down a three of her own to put Lowell in front. Second quarter, Eagles looking to go on a little run. Lydia Saul finds sister Hannah inside for the bucket. Christian now up 3. Later in the quarter, Lydia on the drive. She kicks out to Caitlin LaRue on the wing. She fills it up from beyond the arc, and the Christian lead is up to 7. Special moment here for Baker. She works her way inside for the bucket, and that puts the junior over the 1,000 point mark for her career, and she would go on to finish with 20 points in this one. Third quarter, Lydia Saul gets the steal and finds LaRue up court. She finishes with the layup, and the senior wasn't done yet. Fourth quarter, LaRue works her way into the lane to get 2 of her game-high 25 points as Grand Rapids Christian gets the win 53-45.
And the South Christian girls were hosting Wayland, who was undefeated in their league. Early in the first quarter, Sailors' Lily Nitz takes the pass, goes coast to coast, and powers herself into a defender, getting the lay-in. They lead by 2. Now in the second quarter, Wayland's Liberty Laker calls for and gets the screen. She takes it and hits a deep three-pointer. Later in the second quarter, Ashley Tomsma takes the ball up court, finds Lizzie Waltis, who's open for 3, and she hits it. The Sailors get the dub Friday night, 54-48, and give the Wildcats their first loss in conference play. Friday night gave us a showdown in the OK White between Northview and Byron Center. Late in the first quarter, Bulldog sophomore Camden Carl takes a step-back 3 and nails it, putting Byron Center within 3 points. Midway through the second quarter now, Northview passing the ball around. Cam Ryans finds Parker Swartz open for 3. He drains it. Northview now leading 18-7. Later in the second quarter, a missed shot finds its way into the hands of Cam Ryan, who gets that one up and in. The Wildcats earn the win on the road Friday night, 52-39. In the OK Blue Friday night, Hamilton was facing off against Spring Lake. Early in the second quarter, down by 1, Braden Garink gets the ball down low, flips it back out to Brant Goodpaster, nailing the 3. But the Lakers immediately would answer with Carter Ball draining a 3 of his own to give the Lakers back the lead 18-17. Later in the second quarter, Justin McElwain gets the steal, goes coast to coast on a fadeaway fall. The Lakers, though, falling to Hamilton. At the Gotta Get It Classic on Saturday, Grand Rapids Christian was facing off against De La Salle. Great ball movement here earlier in that game that gets it over to Dono Thames, who drives in and flips it up for a pair. Later in the first, it'll be a quick alley-oop dunk by Jalen Owinga off the pass from Nate Johnson. Later in the game, it's Johnson once again over to Malachi Hoosier with the triple from the corner. The Eagles earn a close win against the Pilots, 63-58.
That's it for the State Champs High School Sports Show.
Make sure you guys follow us on all of our social media platforms to stay up to date.
And we'll see you next week.
State Champs High School Sports Show is presented by Lawrence Technological University. Visit ltuathletics.com and recruit yourself. State Champs is also brought to you by the Michigan High School Athletic Association, promoting the value and values of educational athletics. The Michigan Army National Guard, a proud partner of the MHSAA. Ice Mountain is the official spring water of MHSAA hockey. Nominate your high school for the Team of the Week at icerunsdeep.com. The Detroit Athletic Club Foundation's Athlete of the Year Awards. Applications being accepted now until March 6, 2023 for the male and female high school athletes of the year. Check out previous winners and download the application today at dacathleteoftheyear.com.